25 years. And if one day is like 1,000 years to Jesus, then that means 9,125,000 chances to heal. I've lost some family. I've even lost some friends. Children taken away, but that probably was best for me. You see, that right there was one of my problems in the first place. Selfishness. But now it's too late. I remember when I would sit down to eat dinner without saying my grace, Grandma would ask me, and when I told her no, she would say, "Baby, it's never too late." That was one thing that stuck with me throughout all of my days. Since it's almost as if I had no kids because I've been negligent and trapped for so long, this is my story, left in poem. It all started back when I was in the 10th grade. I was just a product of my environment, so they say. I had dreams as far as the shimmering moon glistening off the bay, stars in the night sky twinkling back at the reflection of me. Before this downward spiral, I was making straight A's, but on that clear night, I would make one life-changing mistake. I never had a need or want to do drugs, so what was so different about today? And it wasn't even about peer pressure, because no matter what people thought, I would always do me. I had gotten bored and curious, all in the same time frame. I walked right past that keep out sign that was framed. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Just take a stroll down memory lane. Any abandoned house on your lane. I found my way in through a broken side window. See some rock-like items on the counter. Go figure, alongside a lighter, a two-legged pipe that looked like it had been ignited. Satan caught me slipping and I fell right into his island. At this age, I seen enough intervention to know how the process works. Put the rock-like item on the top of the pipe and strike up a spark. Allow it to keep burning until smoke rises up. Then inhale with a deep breath and let your body do the next part. Good luck. Luck wasn't on my side, but as I think back, favor was, because I haven't given one more chance to tell you what happens when crackheads wake up. Jesus didn't lead me there. So it was like I was Satan's for the taking. But he had to ask God for permission before he started messing with one of his babies. I went to people saying, that's the first thing he wants to hit when he wakes up in the morning. Telling himself he's just suppressing his problem before and after they start occurring. Did you see him merging his emotions with the chemical substance that he was burning? He ain't nothing but a church-going crackhead. And they weren't careful with how they were worded. They say, I've heard it all before. Sunshine Anderson playing. But most people don't realize that we are all addicted to something, but some just too afraid to say it. I fell deeper and deeper. I skipped all over the small gateway drugs, and I plunged right into that world face first. He said I had stolen, killed, robbed at gunpoint. I even drove my mother to killing herself because I disrespected God by telling her he ain't enough. The man told me he was just young and dumb. But the other twist was his family had some skeletons in the closet of their own. He couldn't believe it. They all had different types of degrees, all financially successful, but drug abuse was still an active seed. True lies and family ties. When family lies, no ties. This man was dying on the in and the outside. So many unanswered questions of why. But how many know that being smart is not an immunity? Even the strongest men in the world can make the mistake by using. He was at his wit's end, so he thought he would switch from the pipe to the syringe. Even after the interview, I still cringe when I read this story over again because there's one in every family, but there's two in mine actually. In actuality, this story is closer to me than you think. Jesus help me. I had enough information, but he just kept on spewing. So I kept on writing. My heart went out to him. He said I didn't just contemplate suicide. I was this far from it. That demon was pulling me under, but Jesus died so I could grab a hold of his garment. So I started thinking to myself, what really happens when crackheads wake up? Do they feel any remorse for the evil deeds that they done? Or do they use motivational speaking as a way to keep in touch with the word that they once loved? The look on my face stuck as the tears rolled down his cheek, scratching his arm. What happens when crackheads wake up and they finally realize that everything is gone? No family to call on, no house to call your home. Jesus, I'm in the zone and I'm not turning back. Thank God I'm not where I was at. That's one reason why everybody should stand up and clap. But you won't do that because of the long stares you might receive. And many of you may have been addicted to something at one time. Everybody wants to throw the stone but not receive. Okay, let me get back on track before I come down your block and step on some toes in the yak. Finally, he was tired, but he was still cleaning up and reacting to the world's pressure in action. Lights, camera, he was crashing. I'm trying to hold back my passion, but something telling me to set it free. For God so loved the world, addiction was one of the sins Jesus cut free. Right along with lusting, backbiting, and infidelity, that wandering eye that always gets to thinking, gossiping, lying. We've all fallen short. There was only one perfect person and he died on the cross. By the time he had given in, his body was decaying. Liver and lungs were unable to anticipating. He said in the midst of his sins, he had a spiritual encounter that God told him that he would live until his story became a popular topic. I was trying to do the best I can to relay this message because sometimes crackheads don't wake up. So his son woke up to this letter. He'll never put more on you than you can bear. True statement. He had to know that I would come out of what I was in. Point taken. But there ain't no point shaving. To Jesus all credit is due. Now back to the originally scheduled program.